Okay, today we are going to deal on an essay titled The Jungle Book is Not a Book, Adaptation, Intertextuality, and the Hegemonic Text. Now, this article is written by Harry Oulton. Now, the originally Jungle Book was written by Rudyard Kipling in 1894. Then in 1895 another part or the sequel of this book was published titled The Second Jungle Book. Over many years the story has been changed and retold in different ways. It has been adapted into movies, cartoons, television shows, and children's books. Some of these new versions have become more popular than Kipling's original writing. Because of this, the Jungle Book is now understood as a group of many connected stories instead of one single text. The original Jungle Book was not written as one continuous story. It contains many separate stories. There are 15 stories in total, and only 8 of them are about Mowgli. In this article, certain words that are highlighted is fluidity. The writer says that the Jungle Book is called as a fluid text. What does it mean? It simply means that the story of the Jungle Book changes over time. When the book is edited, illustrated, or adapted into films, the original story creates new versions of the story. Even Kipling himself changed and rearranged his stories. It is difficult to classify the Jungle Book under one genre because the book is not one continuous narrative. It is a collection of separate stories with different themes, characters, and styles. Some stories are adventure tales, some are moral or teaching stories, some are revenge or survival stories, and some are coming of age stories about Mowgli growing up. There are also stories that focus only on animals and others that include human society. As the stories are so different from each other, they cannot be placed under one clear literary category or genre. This mixture of many storytelling styles makes the Jungle Book difficult to classify as only a children's story or adventure story or animal fable or myth. That is why the writer says that it is difficult to classify the Jungle Book under one genre. Now we are going to the second part of of this article, that is intertextuality. First thing, let's understand what is intertextuality. Intertextuality means that one text is influenced by other text. Now, if we look at the Jungle Book, we can say that it itself is an intertextual text. The Jungle Book is connected to many other texts and stories. In the case of the Jungle Book, Kipling's stories were influenced by Indian myths, folklore, and earlier literary traditions. Later, many films, cartoons, and books used Kipling's stories and changed them. Each new version borrows ideas, characters, and themes from earlier versions and adds new meanings. Because all these versions are connected and influence each other, the Jungle Book is described as intertextual. It shows how stories are not created alone but grow through relationships with other texts. Now, keep I in the previously I just said that Kipling's stories were influenced by Indian culture, myth, and folklore. Now, also I would like to say what scholars say. Some scholars say that Mowgli is similar to Hindu gods such as Vishnu and Shiva. Mowgli, sitting in Ka's coil, is compared to the Hindu god Vishnu resting on the snake. When Mowgli sits on Shere Khan's skin, it shows his power and makes him similar to the god Shiva. Books and films tell stories in different ways. Films usually follow a simple structure with a clear beginning, middle, and ending. They also show clear character development. Kipling stories are more episodic and sometimes do not follow one clear storyline. The Disney animated film released in 1967 changed the story to make it simpler and easier to understand. The Disney film focuses on Mowgli's journey and shows him growing up and finally going to live with humans. Different adaptations change the idea and themes of the original story. Disney removed many violent and colonial elements found in Kipling's original story and made Disney's storytelling more entertaining and suitable for children. Audience and cultural background play an important role in how people understand the story. People today know the Jungle Book not through the original work of Kipling but through the film version, especially by Disney's animated film. The next topic that we are going to study here is about hegemony. And here the writer says that the Jungle Book can be referred to as a hegemonic text. Now, firstly, hegemony. The word itself means dominance, control, gaining power over something else. So here, the writer is trying to say that the Jungle Book by the Disney uh, can be seen as a hegemonic text because Disney's this film dominates over other other stories or other collections of the Jungle Book. Disney's film became very popular across the world. Because of its wide reach, many people know the Jungle Book through Disney rather than Kipling's original story. Disney simplified the plot, added songs and humor, and removed darker and colonial elements that were seen in Kipling's novel. As a result, Disney's version strongly shapes how audiences imagine Mowgli, the jungle, and the animals. So these are the important points that is discussed in the article. And some of the questions that can come from this essay is that why is the Jungle Book not a book? Then they may ask you to explain the Jungle Book as a fluid text, or they may ask a question related to intertextuality. So prepare these three questions for the exam. All the best.